Alrighty hosses, welcome back, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up multiple scenes and how you can switch between them. So you would want to do this, say that you're making like a chat program like Skype. You'd obviously want one scene where the user could type and see all the messages, talk to their friends, and you might want to make another scene to, I don't know, like allow the user to edit their profile information or something. So again, a scene is just a different view, the content inside the window, and if you're thinking about it in like a website terminology, it would just be like a new page. So that's what we're going to be doing. And also, what I'm probably going to do from here on out is I'm going to take this primary stage, which we already know refers to the entire window, and I'm just going to rename it to window. And that's just because I think it's a little bit easier to follow along, and also just think, you know, in your brain, this is actually the window, might as well just call it that. And of course, since this tutorial is switching between scenes, we probably need two scenes. So I'm going to name one scene 1 and another scene 2. Pretty stinking creative. Now to rename your primary stage, just put window equals primary stage. So now we can refer to the entire window as window. Like I said, it's easier to, I don't know, it's just easier on my brain. Now this program is going to be really simple. I'm going to have one scene, and all it's going to have inside it is a button, and the button's going to be like, hey, welcome to scene 1, click the button to go to scene 2. So that's what that's going to do. And in the next scene I'm going to have another button, and it takes you back to scene 1. So really basic demo, but it's going to teach you pretty much the foundation of how to switch between scenes. It's going to be pretty cool. Actually, let me go ahead and add a label. I don't even know if I talked to you guys about what a label is yet. A label is just a little chunk of text. So static text, the user's not going to interact with it at all, just a plain string essentially. So I'll say welcome to the first scene. Alright, now for the button, I'll name the first one button 1, and of course we'll set this equal to new button, and we'll just set the text right through the constructor. Let me scroll down here. So this button will say go to scene 2, since whenever they see this, obviously this will be the very first scene, and clicking it will take them to scene 2. Well, of course we need to add that functionality, and thanks to the last tutorial we know that we can just use lambda expressions. Put e window, which is your main window, the parent of everything. What we can call on here is set scene. Now essentially what this does is it changes the view or scene, and we're just gonna eventually make scene 2, so it'll go from scene 1 to scene 2. So this is pretty much the one thing, if you only remember one thing from this tutorial, remember this little line of code right there. Now I'm also going to show you guys that you can use multiple layouts or different layouts. So for the first scene, I'll just say I'll lay out everything in a vertical column, and I know that I didn't talk to you guys about like the details of different layouts or everything like that, but just for right now we can use VBox, and we can just name it like a layout 1. And what this is going to do, of course, is it's going to stack all the objects on top of each other. And I'm going to be making a layout tutorial soon to show you guys the difference between VBox, HBox, stack pane. It's going to be explaining all that stuff, but for right now this is a pretty easy one. And also, whenever you make it, you can pass in a value. So again, what VBox does is it's a layout that stacks all the objects on top of each other in a column, and it's going to space them out 20 pixels so they're not like butted up right up against each other. So now that we have a layout, what we can do is we can actually add the items to it. So get children, add all. Now whenever you just have one item, you can just use add, but whenever you have multiple, you need to throw add all in there. And we want to add label 1, which is that text. It's like welcome to the scene, and also button 1. Boom, roasted. Now the last thing we need to do is, now that we have our layout, we can just pretty much set it for scene 1. So scene 1, alright, and pretty much a new view, so new scene. Now you need to give me what layout you're using, how you want things arranged, Well, how about layout 1? And also, how big am I? Well, we'll just say you're 200 by 200 pixels. So that is it for the first scene. Created two objects, a label and a button. Added the action for the button so it actually does something when you click it. Said this is how we want things arranged, and pretty much set everything up. So now we can just speed right through this. Button 2. Just gonna be real lazy and copy everything. So of course this is the button that's gonna be on the second scene. So button 2, I'll say, what text am I gonna have on here? I'll say this scene sucks. Go back to scene 1. Alright, so now also we need to put a different action. So on button 2, whenever you click it, the window changes to scene 1. Alright, looking good. Now after here we need to make a real quick layout. And just to switch things up a little bit, I'm actually going to use stack pane, which is a really easy one. And I'm just going to name it layout 2. And stack pane, we don't need any parameters at all. And just like before, layout 2, get children, we essentially just want to add this button to this layout. So button 2, and that'll stick button 2 on our layout, of course. And now we just set up our scene. So for the second scene, of course, it's a new scene, a new view. What layout are you using? How about layout 2? And how big do you want me to be? Well, how about a little bit bigger, 600 by 300. So simple enough. Now we have one little chunk of code to do, and that is, how does your window know to display our first scene first? Because right now we have two scenes set up with different items inside, but now it's asking, alright, what one do you want me to display? So by default, as soon as your program starts, we're going to say set scene, and we'll just say scene 1. It doesn't really matter, but we'll just pick scene 1. And also, you always should have a title, even if it's just something stupid like, I'll just write title here so you guys know where you would put it. And also window dot show to actually display it. There we go, that's what I wanted. Alright, now everything is looking good. Did I see a I thought I saw error, but hopefully not. Let's run this bad boy, fingers crossed, and check it out. The worst layout ever, but whatever. So this is our very first scene. Welcome to the first scene. Click a button, go to scene 2. Of course, this is the dumbest program ever. Your window gets bigger. This scene sucks. Go back to scene 1. Dun, 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 dun. I love switching scenes. I love switching scenes. Alright, so there you go. And yeah, there you have it. There's the basics. Pretty much explained everything. No need to say it again. So thank you guys for watching. And well, see you later.